Good evenings, gentlemen and ladies. I am the old school game snob, and in today's video we are questing for the Harlequin crest. This is the legendary Shako, the unique Shako that is so sought after and so coveted by pretty much every Diablo 2 player. Plus 2 all skills is just huge, and the huge life and mana bonus, as well as a damage reduction and a 50% better chance of finding magic items. I have mine socketed with a perfect topaz for a 74% chance of finding magic items on top of what is already an amazing item. It's really no wonder that people absolutely go crazy for this particular item. This is probably number one on everybody's wish list, the Shako. It just works well for every single class. Anyway, let's jump into this video. In my previous video on searching for the Shako, I talked about a few different ways that you might go about looking for a Shako, kind of taking into account if you're playing hardcore, if you're playing softcore, if you're playing single play, if you're playing Battle.net. In this video, we're going to be going more in detail, more in depth on the single best way to find the Harlequin crest. So our very best way, our very best boss to farm is, of course, good old Mephisto. Mephisto in Hell difficulty. He has a 1 in 1842 chance of dropping the Shako. Now, if you factor on a nice amount of magic find, let's put 300% magic find, that improves quite a bit. That improves up to, not these quest ones, these ones are the first time you kill the bosses. But Hell Mephisto now has a 1 in 781% chance of dropping the Shako. That's pretty good. You might even tune up to about 350 magic find, but any more than that starts to become redundant. Hell Mephisto at 350 magic find has a 1 in 750% chance of dropping the Harlequin quest, the Shako itself, the unique version of the Shako, I should say. Stacking magic find beyond about the 350% mark doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. I've talked about this in some of my previous videos, the diminishing return on magic find. Here is the unique percent chance increase, this little orange line here, depending on your magic find. Up at 1000% magic find, you actually only have a 200% better chance of getting a unique drop. So right around that 350%, you're pretty near that 200% increased chance without having to sacrifice a lot of your gear and your clear speed. So right around there is where I recommend for an optimal damage, clear speed, and magic find drop improvement. Now, some of you may have noticed that Hell Undariel also sports right around the same chance of dropping the Shako as Mephisto. The only difference between the two is that Undariel has 2 levels that you have to teleport through and find your way down into the 4th level, and it just takes a little bit longer than finding your way down 1 level. Now, in my humble opinion, the Blizzard Sorceress is going to be your best bet for this run. As you can see here, I'm able to easily stack 335% magic find with the Blade of Ali Baba, with a Nagel Ring, with Chance Guards, and with, of course, my Vampire Magi and my existing Harlequin crest Shako, and some War Traveler boots. So you can kind of mix and match stuff around a little bit and try to get your magic find up as much as you like. I've also got a Guide's Grand Charm here in my inventory at the absolute worst possible roll at 25% better chance of finding magic items. This can roll up to 40% better chance, but the Blizzard Sorceress is a good choice for doing Mephisto runs just because of how quickly she is able to take down Mephisto. And when it comes to finding your way to Mephisto, the only thing that can really slow you down is running out of mana and having to drink mana potions, basically, and continuing to resupply your mana potions. When you have your mercenary with you, if he's got his Insight aura on, then you don't really need to worry about running out of mana from your teleporting around through the Durance of Hate. Let's talk a little bit actually about how to find your way down to Mephisto, and I guess I should have done that, but I kind of wanted to show off that teleport. The thing is, with a Blizzard Sorceress, when she gets to Mephisto, she can take him down so quickly that little mercenary pal over here, he almost always survives, and so he's viable. He's viable to have with you and to help keep your mana up, which just makes teleporting that much more convenient and easy. Oh, and for those new players to Diablo Resurrected, when I say Insight, what I mean is the rune word Insight, which goes into your mercenary's pole arm. This gives you a level 12 to level 17 meditation aura, which dramatically increases your mana recovery rate. You may also consider something like a spirit sword as your offhand weapon, your weapon swap, and just anything that you can do to get your faster cast rate up, because teleporting is going to be sort of the name of the game here, and the faster we teleport down, well, the faster we can do our runs. Okay, so speaking of runs, the easiest and I would say most solid way of discovering layer 3, level 3 of the Durance of Hate is to look at where the exit is of your little waypoint starting point. So here's the waypoint starting point. And you can see that if you kind of look at the mini-map, the exit point is right here, right? That's going to change depending on what your map configuration is, but basically what you want to do is exit stage left. That's your character's left, and follow the wall along stage left, basically. So just keep following the wall from wherever your waypoint exits from, and yeah, just follow the wall. Sometimes this will be really close, sometimes it might be basically all the way around the map, but you stick to the wall and you'll get there in about as straight a line as you can hope for, really. So, and you're sure not to miss it is also another nice thing. If you just kind of stick to the wall, follow the wall, you're sure not to go back and forth a million times searching for it and, you know, miss it. This is kind of a longer route here this time for me, but yeah, sometimes it's, you know, short, sometimes it's medium, sometimes it's a little further. But the nice thing is that we only have this one level to get down through, you know, unlike somewhere like the catacombs, which would, you know, require us to go through 2 levels. Man, this is like the furthest one. Come on, game. Come on, game. Make me look smarter than this. Come on. Well, we'll get there eventually. Eventually. But yeah, the nice thing, like I say, about having your mercenary with you is, oh yeah, I nearly missed it there because I didn't stick to the wall. Anyway, level 3, and then you just basically zip through here, right? Skip past all those guys. And Mephisto, right? A little bit of static field, switch over to your magic find weapon, your mercenaries, you know, having a perfectly fine time with your cold sorceress surviving Mephisto for just a few seconds like that. And that's the run, right? That was actually kind of a longer version of it. That took a long time to find my way down. But anyway, the last thing that you'll want to do, of course, also check the super chest back here, because that's got a good chance of dropping some good stuff. But then find your way to the portal to Pandemonium Fortress. And that way, when you log out of the game and come back into the game again, instead of running all the way from the Kurust docks to the waypoint, which, you know, might take 10 or 15 seconds, you can basically just use the waypoint right there and go back to the Durance of Hate and do your next run. So basically that's it. Like I say, here's another version of it, of the waypoint, but this time we can see that the exit is here. So my exit stage left is going to be this way, and I'm just going to follow the wall and hopefully have a better example to show you guys this time in terms of, wow, yikes, those little Stygian dolls. And that's actually another reason that having a nice, whoa, oh my god, those were like the meanest Stygian dolls I've seen. Wow, that was painful. That's what was I saying? A nice reason to have that faster cast rate. There we go. Level 3 is to avoid those undead Stygian dolls. Man, they're usually not a problem, but you know, every now and then they can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, mercenary almost died that time. Rejuvenation potions are not the worst thing to have around. And like I say, most of the time he survives. Not all the time, but most of the time. Enough of the times that it's viable to have him with you. So anyway, that's the run. Lather, rinse, and repeat 754 times, or as the case may be, unless you're running some good luck. You know what's funny? I found my Shako on my very first run. On the launch of D2R, I found mine on my very first non-quest run. Actually, I had like no magic find, and it just immediately dropped. I could hardly believe it. It was just like the luckiest thing. Gentlemen, ladies, also thank you very much for the subscribes to the channel. I really appreciate the support. You guys are absolute rock stars. I love this community. You guys are so fun. All right, thank you. Anyway, you guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. All right, see you all in the next one.